Karen McCullough loves change, and she is on a mission to get you and your team on board because the train is leaving the station and you don't want to be left behind. Through her study of generational influences, business trends, and technology, Karen has tapped into an innovative model that opens people's minds to change. Karen teaches you the essential skills needed to manage and motivate your employees and yourself to growth and success. Karen speaks across the country to audiences from some of the world's top companies, universities, and organizations. Please help me welcome Karen McCullough.
Wait 1 second. Technology. Hang on. Sorry, everybody.
And once you tell me we're ready, we will do that again. We'll do the last part again, the way
Karen
it should
McCullough.
have been. Please welcome Karen McCullough.
Great opening for what I'm going to talk about. Because inside every mistake, there is an opportunity, right? Yeah. Before I get into my biggest mistake in my life, let me ask you, who here remembers the 80s? I was looking around and talking to you. A lot of you remember the 80s, I could tell, right? For those that don't, we'll tell you all about the 80s at lunch. I loved the 80s. I moved to Houston in the 80s, and what I noticed in the 80s in Houston was that people weren't preppy. So I decided to open a store. I opened a preppy shop. Do you know what preppy is? If you don't know, look at the screen. Preppy, pink, green, Madras. Do you remember Bermuda shorts? Do you remember knee socks, loafers, penny loafers? That was my store. Pinstripe suits. I could dress you preppy for work and preppy for play. And everybody in Houston was preppy when I opened my store. Grandma was preppy. Mom was preppy. High school girls were preppy. College girls. I had the women's market covered. I thought I was a genius. I thought it was me. I was on top of the world. I opened 4 stores. And then the trends started coming in. It started with MTV. I can talk to Gen Xers in this audience, and they remember the first day that MTV came on the scene, right? Remember? When they said video killed the radio? Video killed preppy. Girls looked at Madonna, who sang Like a Virgin. They looked at Grandma and Preppy and Mom, and they said, I'm going with Madonna. And I lost half of my business. But I didn't really notice back then. I just worked harder. Sometimes we just ignore the trends and we work harder. And then we call it the gapping of America. Yeah, casual dress. It started in the 90s. There's some Gen X programmers. I know it was Gen X who did this. These programmers, they said, we'll work 24/7. If we can wear anything we want to work. Remember, it started in Houston as just casual Friday. And then pretty soon it went to casual every day. And people woke up on Friday and they went, man, it's Friday, I better go lower, right? And they would put on the clothes, they mowed the lawn. And remember, women stopped ironing. There was no more preppy. So preppy died, and so did my business. And I learned something from that. I learned a big lesson. I learned it, and I really didn't learn it until I started speaking, that there are trends going on right now. There are things happening right now. And maybe you're looking at kids and what kids are doing right now, and you're thinking, that's just for kids. That's kid stuff. But you know what? The trends start with the younger generation. Open your eyes to what is going on. Understand that there are things happening right now in the business world. There are things happening right now in the media world that will be changing the way we do business in the future. So how open are you to change? So I'm going to ask you a question today, and I've only got a few minutes, but I'm going to ask you one question. I'm going to ask you if you could go back, and it doesn't have to be going back, way back to the 80s, but if you could go back even a week from here and make one change in your life that might switch the way things are going for you right now, what would it be? What would it be? Because for me, I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at the world, I'm listening to CNBC every day on the news, and you guys, we are in for some massive changes right now. The way we communicate is going to be different. The way we show up for work is going to be different. The way we do meetings is going to be different. The way we respond to each other is going to be different. And so how are you? How adept are you? How equipped are you for change, right? So for me, I think that we've got to start to think about why are things so hard? What was it? Because you see, back in the 80s, things were pretty easy. Back in the 90s, there weren't a lot of changes going on. Maybe there were social changes going on in the world, but there weren't a lot of changes going on with the way we did business. What happened? Well, the first thing that happened was in 1998. I was just talking to Jim about Google. Google came on the scene, and Google Change the way we learn. Someone just said that they had shot a deer and they wanted to learn how to dress it, and they Googled it. And they got how to do it. I said, you could probably Google how to do heart surgery pretty soon, right? And you're going to find ways to do everything. No, please don't do that. But Google opened up the way we learn. And it shifted. It shifted that we could get instant ideas. Then 2001, Steve Jobs. I remember this day. Steve Jobs comes on the scene and he holds up a tiny white deck of cards. That's what I thought it was. And he says, imagine 1,000 tunes in your pocket. And I'm thinking, who the heck knows 1,000 songs? That was the stupidest thing I ever heard of, right? I was wrong on that one. The iPod comes out in 2001. In 2004, Facebook. In 2006, Twitter is launched. Twitter. Nobody really cared about Twitter much until 2008, 2009, when Sully landed that plane and they took the picture. And that tweet, he tweeted it to 140 people. And they say it was the tweet that spread to the world. And the way we communicate changed. So Twitter is going to be a high influence in here. 2007, the iPhone comes on the scene. How many of you have an iPhone? How many of you sleep with your iPhone? Yeah, we love it, right? Yeah, I knew I could tell you that you did, right? In 2008, the App Store is formed. The App Store. I cannot wait for an app to be on my iPhone that's a scale, right? You eat a big dinner, you put your phone down, you step on it. Ooh, right? The apps, I mean, it's changed everything. Right now, the phone, if you leave the house without your phone, do you have a panic attack? Right, we have a panic attack, right? In 2010, the iPad was born. So you say, why are the changes so steep? Well, because in the last 10 years, everything changed as far as technology. And I dig it, I love it. I love it because I believe that if you are open to learning, it's like a clean slate for you. If you're open to learning, you can change your destiny. You can change your life. But you have to be ready and open. Are you? Are you ready for it? Because you see, for 30 years, we had this fixed mindset. And a fixed mindset says everything's going to remain the same. Pretty much, I went to college, I graduated from college, I kind of know the kind of job I'm going to get, I kind of know the house I'm going to live in, and I can pretty much determine my life until I retire. I got it fixed. I got it set. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't mess with anything if it's going right. Well, today, we are not in a fixed mindset. We're in a growth mindset. And it's interesting because a growth mindset says maybe you went to school, maybe you graduated, but you've still got to keep learning. A growth mindset is open for innovation. A growth mindset is open for what is expected, right? So my mantra is keep on learning, man. You got to just keep on learning. So I have this saying, it's a little bit in the 80s, but I kind of like it, so I'm going to have you all say it. Leaders are learners, and learners are earners. Leaders are learners, and learners are earners. Can we all say it together? Come on, 1, 2, 3. Leaders are learners, and learners are earners. Leaders are earners, and earners are, or whatever. Learners are earners. Got a little tongue twisted there. I love it, because leaders are learners, and earners are whatever. I can't even say it right now. So number 1, we have to change our mindset, all right? Number 2, our attitude, how we manage people. Our attitude and how we manage people has to change. So I call it the new rules. There's above the line and there's below the line. I'm not saying anybody in here ever managed below the line, but let's look at it. Shame, blame, justification, and criticism. Come on. We've all been there. You've all had it happen to you. So what we're learning right now is with this new generation coming in, we have to have acknowledgement, acceptance, encouragement, and positive feedback. The positive feedback is very important because this younger generation, they want to succeed. They need feedback. They need to be managed. Before we managed, it was like by the seat of your pants. Just go out there and do it. We'll drop you in the grease, right? But today, younger people, they want to succeed. We just have to give them feedback. We have to give them encouragement and acknowledgement. So I believe that we have to really do above the line thinking. I watch CNBC all the time, and there's this new show on called The Prophet. So I like to give you something that just happened this week. So I'm watching this guy. I have to read it because his name is Marcus Lemonis, and he's the prophet. And Marcus talks about companies that are failing right now. And he says, and I love this quote, this just happened last week, success is a moving target. Anyone who thinks that they have arrived is kidding themselves. Well, that was me. That was me back in the day when I was queen of preppy. In order to stand out today, you have to understand innovation, technology, the new customer, and be open to change. When you accept that change is necessary for growth, you can't be stopped. That's going to be my mantra for the next 10 years. You can't be stopped because change is necessary for growth. If any of you guys want the slides, I'll give them to you. Just give me your card. I see you copying it all. So my favorite part is the customer is changing. Look at that picture. The customer is changing. Who's your customer? Whether that's that internal customer that you work with every day or that external customer that you're selling to, their needs, their expectations, their desires are changing. Do you understand them? Do you know them? I know them. I understand them. I brought one into my team. And the one thing that I learned about the customer today, besides that one coming up, that's your next, he'll be coming to your meeting next week. The one thing that I learned is that you got to make it fun. If you make learning fun, if you make training fun, they're going to come. And so what we're going to do right now is something that I do at the end of my talks. I have to add this because I'm kind of known for this. So we're going to have fun. I'm the first speaker up here, but I'm going to be watching you because you have to participate in this one. I'm going to play a game called Name That Generation. I'm going to play a song like Name That Tune. Okay, wait. Who remembers Name That Tune? Come on. Oh, good. God, my people. Like Name That Tune, right? I'm going to play a song, and if you think that this is for people that are over 67 years old, we'll think 70-year-olds, make a T. Let me see. Come on. I'm watching. Make a T. Good. Okay, you did really good on the T. If you think that this is a baby boomer song, these are people in their early 60s and in their 50s, go like this. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. If you think it's Gen X, I want attitude. 2 fists and an X. And if you think it's a Gen Y, just stand up and stretch and make a Y, okay? T, whoop, whoop, X, and Y. I'm going to be watching you. Here we go. If you can do this, who knows the words? Nope. When do you see the year? In 1959, we were singing Hit the Road Jack, right? Who remembers 59? No, I don't want to know. All right, let me look at this one. Who knows this one? Yes, it's X! You were going to dance! Yeah, this was 1990. Gen X, you're getting old. That was a long time ago. You're not kids anymore. How about this one? 1, 2, 3, Woo! I love you, Matt. 2003. Are we waking up here? How about this one? Come on, we're going to sing it. Woo! Now look at the boomers getting excited. Ready, everybody? Ready? Here we go. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. All right, 1969. Yeah, who was that? Woo, woo. Gen X is going, I don't want that song. How about this one? Who can do the Running Man? Come on. All right, come on. Do we know the words? Ready? Here we go. Stop, collaborate, and listen. All right, guys. For me doing this first, you gotta be 1989. Who was that? All right, one more. Here we go. Woo! Now we're getting it. All right, don't stop the party. That's today. How about this one? Are we getting with it? Yeah, all right. We got there, all right. 2009. How about this one? Yeah. Woo, woo. That was back in 1965. I can't get no satisfaction. I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it a little early. I'm going to end it with this. If you want satisfaction, if you can't get no satisfaction, if you think of nothing else for me today, remember this. I hope you can say it right. Leaders are learners and... Thank you, guys. I'm Karen McCullough. Have a great day. Thank you all for coming. You rock. Thank you.